My name is Veronica Robles. Everybody roll in your eyes. So we're going to get started with a very slow song, a beautiful song that is about a shepherd.
Yes. The illegal alien push is alive and well in Boston, Massachusetts, because Democrats are severely mentally ill. And they like crime. Let's face it, they like crime. They like a lot of crime. In fact, they love crime. I think at this point, they don't love a lot. But crime is something we can fairly say the Democrat Party is in love with. Not the United States of America or the rule of law, the Bill of Rights. No love to be found there. But if you're an illegal alien criminal gang member who is illegally in the United States doing illegal things, then the Democrat Party, well, they want to hop in the hot tub with you, I'll tell you that much. They're looking for a hot oil rub down, if you know what I'm talking about. Well, very happy Wednesday to you. It's hump day, isn't it? It's hump day here in the United States of America. We all know what that means. Lots of hump day events going on. And the Clinton household, they've always got big hump day festivities, as do we, just by the way, because we have Mailbag Day. You can hear the questions in front of me now that have been selected by our enormous team of experts, and we have the mailbag questions right here, which we will get to today. I'm going to say make every effort. We're actually going to get to today. Now, the Democrats, they're not well. They like illegal aliens, and they like crime. They like foreign gangs. They like Tren de Aragua. They like MS-13, and not just the cable news channel MS-13, MSDNC, but they like actual gangs from foreign countries, foreign lands. They might call them international gangs because they don't like to use the word foreign. You know, they got an international object floating in their drink over here. So we've got a lot to talk about with thanks to the Democrats. Also, Ukraine. We have Ukraine chugging along because the communist Vladimir Putin, you know, Vlad the Impaler Putin, he is, I saw in the media that Trump is under the sway of Vladimir Putin, that he's speaking for Vladimir Putin, and that he's that it's Russian collusion. They're still pimping the Russian collusion and selling their daughters to any illegal alien gang that comes along. Hey, the women, how much for the women? So we've got things going on today, and nobody's talking about this. You know that the Russians, because this is what communists do, Putin's guys, they have stolen about 20,000 children from Ukraine, and they've taken them out of Ukraine, which is what you do when you steal children from Ukraine and you take them someplace else, either into Russia, Mother Russia. I like to call it Mother Russia because it sounds vaguely dirty, doesn't it? Vaguely kind of mother what? Mother Russia. Oh, okay. I think that's allowed on the radio. So we've got Mother Russia and what else do we have? We have Belarus. Thousands and thousands of children. They've stolen about 20,000 Ukrainian children, and Ukraine is starting to roll their knuckles on the table a little bit and say, well, I think before we go too much farther, we'd like to get our 20,000 children back that you stole, you communist pig dogs. And it reminded me of my first trip to Albania, and perhaps I'll get to that a little bit later, with the children in cardboard boxes left in the town square, because communism is really good. It's really neat, and Democrats like it very much. So we'll get to that. I want to get to that. But we did open with a bit of a mariachi band. It's mariachi. That's a foreign language word. Not band, but mariachi. Band is a perfectly good English word. But mariachi band opened up for the Democrat mayor in Boston, Massachusetts. Not a border state, Massachusetts, not a border city, Boston, but the Democrat Party. They're really some mariachi band, and this woman is quite a piece of work, I would say. With the mariachi band, you see, she's got a giant bright blue sombrero. And what kind of a jacket is that she's wearing there, Michael? Do you know what kind of jacket? You're not a fashionista when it comes to the mariachi accoutrement, apparently. But we've got that for you, because in Boston, man, they had Senator Ed Markey, who's been in Congress since near the end of the American Civil War, the Democrat Party-induced American Civil War. And he was there, and they're trying to tap along, and, that's a toe tapper. They're trying to seem like everything's normal, and they're got a mariachi band with the big, bright blue sombrero and that jacket that I think all women would know what that jacket is called, but I'm not sure what it's called. It's a blue, I'll call it a blue jacket. She's got her mariachi suit on, and all the Democrats were gathered to root for the illegal aliens who commit child sexual assault at an extraordinary level. And the Democrats, I think they're in favor of that. Based on all evidence that we have gathered, it looks as though the Democrats are definitely in favor of more child sex abuse because you know how they are. They're Democrats. And, never mind that. They got a mariachi band, and the headline below that is, ICE Boston arrests illegal Honduran national charged with child trafficking crimes in Rhode Island. And the Democrat mayor there, Wu, I don't know if she's related to the virus or not, but is she Mayor Wuhan? Mayor Michelle Wu. She's the Democrat mayor of Boston, Mass. They're very open-minded there. So open-minded that their brains fell out a long time ago. Your mind is way too open. Splat. Your brain hits the asphalt. Just great stuff. And they're having these rallies and chanting and cheering. And they say it was like the day after an illegal alien, Harjinder Singh, was, I think he's been arrested now. He was allowed to leave Florida. But the Democrats in California gave the illegal alien Harjinder Singh a commercial driver's license. I like to call it a CDL, commercial driver's, because we have to abbreviate everything. And Harjinder Singh, he was driving out of California in an 18-wheeler, a tractor-trailer truck, a very large truck. And he was in Florida when he decided to do a U-turn. He had to maneuver his way around the giant no U-turn sign to pull the 18-wheeler around to do a U-turn and avoid running over the no U-turn sign. When a minivan crashed into him, 3 people are killed. He's been charged with, I believe, negligent homicide of three American people. And the Democrats don't care because they're on the side of Harjinder Singh and his illegal alien. And we've got more on that because it turns out they had a test for him, and there were 12 questions that you had to answer in English. He could answer 2 of them. And they said, what the hell, you're an illegal alien. Let's give him his commercial driver's license so he can go out and kill Americans. Because Democrats, dating back to the American Civil War, they've been big fans of killing Americans. They're not on the side of America, certainly, or a civilization, or the good guys. They're not on the side of anything good. They're on the side of everything bad. Aren't they amazing? But we've got the Harjinder Singh story because the Democrats, including the Democrat governor of the state of California, they're out there, and then the mayor of Boston, Mass, not even close. They're out there rooting and cheering for the illegal aliens that kill Americans, and the news media doesn't see anything noteworthy in any of that. They don't discuss it. They don't talk about it. Just like the 20,000 kidnapped Ukrainian children that the communists took. Hell, that's nothing compared to the Democrats. They're going to rack up more than 1 million kids again this year just in the United States. And they want us to pay for abortions all over the world, too. But never mind that. And CNN is on the case now. The strange divide in how Americans experience summer temperatures. They're very concerned about the temperature in the summer. And if you're a Democrat, you're likely to be in some kind of a transsexual panic about summer weather because you don't remember last year or the year before. You've never learned anything about the weather, so you're starting from scratch every day if you're a Democrat. And CNN now observes that conservatives aren't in a flop sweat panic every time the summer months come because we're not severely mentally impaired, as is the average Democrat. Sad, but true. Also, out of Chicago, Illinois, I was talking to my friends at WLS this morning. Every Wednesday, I talk to my great friends on the morning show at WLS, as I did this morning. And in Chicago, an amazing story. A legally blind man in Chicago had his support dog kidnapped from his yard, stolen from his yard 2 months ago. 2 months ago. And the guy, and it's a little, what is it, a dachshund? A dachshund. I didn't even know they could be support dogs. They're too short. But apparently he's got a short support dog. And it was kidnapped by Democrats 2 months ago who had been holding it hostage. And I have an update, and it's got a happy ending. In fact, it has a happier ending, since we're talking about Chicago now, has a happier ending than the Obama Presidential Center, which is like the Obama Presidential Library. But they don't want to call it a library because then Democrats will never go there. See, if you call it the Obama Library, then it'd have to be the library, and Democrats would never visit because it's called a library. But community leaders, they love that word community, don't they? They like the word leaders, too. I don't think they know what those words mean. But the community leaders in Chicago warn Obama Presidential Center fueling gentrification concerns in Chicago neighborhood. Oh, no, you mean there might be less crime there? Fewer murders? The Democrats have to put an end to that. We have to maintain the current levels of murder and crime in this neighborhood in Chicago. And I don't know if you've seen the Obama Presidential Center, which is not a library. Don't call it a library. But it is perhaps the new ugliest building in the United States of America. It looks like it belongs like in Chernobyl. That's in Ukraine, just by the way. But it looks like the Soviet Union built this thing during the depths of the Cold War because of the communist influence in the Obama inner circle. And this thing is now getting some attention in Chicago, and neighbors are saying, man, this is the ugliest thing. It used to be such a beautiful park that you just paved paradise, and put up an Obama Presidential Center, which is not a library. So we've got an update on that for you. Also, this is kind of fun because yesterday on my television show on Newsmax, we were talking about this, and the United Nations. Well, the United Nations came up, and one of our wonderful guests said, why are we even funding the United Nations? What's the United Nations doing about the war in Europe between Russia and Ukraine? And the answer is absolutely nothing, of course. And my great friend Mercedes Schlapp had a great response to that. Great response to that yesterday. And I said the United Nations, I've been saying this for years, of course, United Nations building in New York should be converted to condominiums. It's a nice location. Put some balconies on that building. It could be nice condos, right? And Mercedes said, make it the Trump Library. Wow, what a great idea that is. Make it the Trump Library. Convert the United Nations building in New York into the Donald Trump Presidential Library. It's going to be in New York, right? He's a New York guy, after all. So the United Nations is useless. It'd be a good space for the Trump Library. Somebody needs to bring this to President Trump because it's such a great idea. Wonderful, wonderful. Hey, calls today about crime and the Democrats being in favor of crime. They love crime. Why do they love crime so much? We're at 888-630-9625. Yeah, so we got a lot of Chicago. Well, we got another Chicago story today, too. Locks and Loaded. Jewish gun group standing up in Chicago. I saw some videos. Sounds like they're a bunch of liberals, but they're getting guns because they're afraid of, other Democrats who might be putting on armbands and coming for them. You know how they are. In the meantime, before we get into shooting it up in Chicago, which is kind of an everyday thing, I think, let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Jack, calling from the crazy, once great state of California. Jack, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Chris, you have a great show. Did you have your California yogurt breakfast today, or what did you remember you had that a couple of weeks ago?
I did.
Yogurt. What did you have, yogurt and blueberries? What was the breakfast?
Blueberries and granola is I did not have that this morning. This morning, what did I have? I had banana and then hard-boiled eggs, 3 hard-boiled eggs, and then a field of greens that my best girl makes. It's a drink that is green and it's full of nutritional stuff.
Yeah, protein, that's good for you. Hey, look, California, we're having a California constitutional crisis. You know, the Dems always say constitutional crisis on this reapportionment. You know, we export really great things to Washington. We exported Barbara Lee, the communist mayor of Oakland. She used to be a congresswoman.
Yep.
We have this guy, George Whitesides. He's another leftist who came in and says he was a moderate. He's a terrible congressman, leftist. But Alex Padilla, your buddy, he was an assistant to Feinstein when she had the Chinese chauffeur. Did you know that?
I did not know that Alex Padilla was.
Assistant to Feinstein.
Well, when she had for about 20 years, and the FBI was aware of it and did nothing about it.
That's right. That's how he started. That's how they groom these. They groom these guys, these little guys who are nobodies, and that's how he started as her assistant. Learned the trade, saw he's a good commie, and moved him up. But we have good people too. We have Harmeet Dillon, who's good with the civil rights. But let me just tell you, this constitutional crisis is really. I have not seen Republicans and independents aligned like this. As you know, 44% of voters in the state are Democrat. 56 are not. They're independents and Republicans. 56% are independents, different independent groups, and Republicans. And it's already showing 64% in favor. This is a great thing for Republicans. It's a great learning thing for the country. Watch these communists squirm. But I have just two final things I want to say. I still am not convinced where that $375 billion went for the Inflation Reduction Act. Podesta dished it out at the last minute. Nobody's telling. $90 billion here, $20 billion. That's $375. It's going to kill us, and we need equal time in the media. We're past this stage of it's not going to change. They get 90% of control of the media. We used to have the fairness doctrine, which is an FCC decision. Please give us fair time, equal time, Chris. That's the only thing that'll save us. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good California thinking. I've for California, I got to qualify it a little bit, Jack. But where are you calling from in the great state of California?
Southern California.
That's still pretty vague, isn't it? Yeah, if you can remain as anonymous as you like. You don't have to.
Los Angeles.
Okay, the greater Los Angeles metroplex.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like Escape from L.A. these days, isn't it? Like Mad Max races on the 10 and the 101 with illegal aliens rolling over, and California sent Florida the illegal alien who killed the three people with his tractor trailer, and then the governor there was yelling at Florida for noticing that their illegal alien Californian who was given a commercial driver's license to drive a tractor trailer all over the country, who couldn't read English and couldn't answer questions. Jack, I'm beginning to think that the Democrats are not on our side. I'm pretty well decided on that, as a matter of fact. I don't think they're on our side at all. Thanks, Jack. We got a whole lot of Democrat madness coming up, from stealing dogs to gun clubs for Jews only and all kinds of stuff. The Democrats, I'm being generous in calling this political party Democrats because, as you know, the Democratic Party isn't friendly fire, isn't common sense, isn't common courtesy, isn't, thanks to the Democrat Party. And the Democratic Party isn't. They're not really democratic at all. They're somewhere between socialist and Soviet-style communist, and they use the playbook of the commies. We've demonstrated that again and again. But one of the things that Democrats love now is illegal aliens. God, they love illegal aliens. They love crime being committed by illegal aliens. They love it when illegal aliens with commercial driver's license out of California, when illegal aliens kill 3 Americans in Florida, driving a tractor trailer and doing a U-turn very carefully around the big no U-turn sign and causing an accident with a minivan and killing 3 Americans. And then the illegal alien is now charged, I believe, with negligent homicide. Is that what it is? I believe that's the charge. And the Democrats, though, in Massachusetts, the Democrats run the place there, of course, into the ground, and they love illegal aliens because they like more crime to be committed by non-English speaking criminals. I think that makes it's more international. It makes it more Democrat friendly, more liberal. They're not liberals at all, are they? But let me share with you just a little bit of what's going on before we go to the Mariachi band. a little bit what's going on in the Boston, Massachusetts area and that region of the country where ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, has been arresting illegal aliens for all kinds of crimes. And by the way, as Senator John Kennedy, the current one, not the old one that was shot in the head, by a communist, but the current John Kennedy, he's talked about illegal immigration in the past, and I think he really put his finger on the button when it comes to illegal immigration.
Illegal immigration is illegal.
See, that's one of the things about illegal immigration. That's why they call it that. They don't want to give it a bad name or anything, but that's why they call it that. And out of Boston, Mass, ICE Boston, Immigration Customs in Boston, Massachusetts. ICE Boston arrests illegal Honduran national charged with child trafficking crimes in Rhode Island. They're petite states up there. You can drive a golf ball from one state to the next. They're very nearby. U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement, in partnership with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, but not Democrat-run police departments, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, which, as everybody knows, ought to be a convenience store rather than a federal agency. Hey, where are you going? I'm headed down to the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. And pick me up a box of 9mm hollow points while you're there. So apprehended an illegally present, I like that, illegally present Honduran alien charged with 2 counts of indecent solicitation of a child and trafficking of a minor. Officials in ICE Boston, DEA New England, ATF Boston, arrested. His name is Vivian. He goes by Vivian. Could be a gender issue there, too. Vivian Giselle Soriato, and in Providence, Rhode Island, arrested. And that's no problem. The Democrats are okay with that. They like more of that. They want to see a lot more of that because they like crime, especially against children. Now, the good people in Boston, they've arrested lots and lots of illegal alien. Just look at some of the child sex offenders. And I happen to have a lineup right here. I've got a right there for you in front of you. And they've got Corey Bernard Alvarez. I think I see a theme emerging already. Corey Bernard Alvarez. He's a Haitian illegal immigrant, and he was arrested there and charged with raping a child under the age of 16 at a migrant shelter. You know, he needs some shelter from the storm there. And then they've got Akeem Mark Desire. Akeem Mark Desire. I don't know what the Akeem is, but he's from Haiti also. He might hang out with Barbecue and the cannibal gang because they have cannibals there, and they eat human beings. They eat people. Maybe not the whole thing, but parts of people. And Akeem Mark Desire, another Haitian illegal alien, charged with sexually assaulting a minor. Wait a minute. What are the odds? Then somebody actually named, ironically, Minor. His name is Minor Steven de Paz Munoz. Minor Steven de Paz Munoz. And he is from Guatemala. You have to use the accent when you're saying Guatemala. And Tegucigalpa, you have to use the accent. And Minor, ironically, Steven de Paz Munoz. He's an illegal alien from Guatemala, and he was charged with rape of a child, indecent assault, and battery against a minor. And the Democrats, they say, I know, let's hire a mariachi band because they love the music. They're very musical people, those Democrats. And then there's Jose Fernando Perez. Jose Fernando Perez is from Guatemala, and he's charged with 3 counts of forcible rape of a child. There are a lot of coincidences going on here, aren't there? And Sostenes Perez Lopez, another from Guatemala, also illegal, charged with 2 counts of indecent assault and battery on a child. Followed by Gilbert, and he's from Guatemala as well. Gilberto Avila Yara. Gilberto Avila Yara is from Ecuador. He's Ecuadorian. My best girl and I, we've been on vacation to Ecuador.
Ecuador.
See, you have to pronounce it like that, Ecuador, because it's more fun when you roll the R's. Got to roll the R's, right? Ecuador. And Gilberto Avila Yara, he's Ecuadorian. My best girl and I, we went to Ecuador, and mountains and cities. And then they have these Galapagos Islands. They own those islands, so we went out there, and that's where the one island we went to had been vandalized by spray paint graffiti people, and we learned it was Jacques Cousteau's crew. Jacques Cousteau's crew went ashore with a bunch of cans of spray paint and spray-painted graffiti all over a rock face because they're saving nature. But Gilberto Avita-Yara from Ecuador, charged with 20-plus child sexual assault-related offenses. All right? Now, I'm just scratching the surface there. That's just the Boston area. That is Democrat Party protectorate because it's a sanctuary city and a sanctuary state because Democrats don't like America. They don't like our sovereignty. They don't like our borders. They don't like the fact that we're an independent nation. They like crime. They like open borders. And apparently they really like child sexual assault. Now, let's go to the Democrats because here's a fun story from the Daily Caller. Mariachi band opens Democrat mayor's pro-sanctuary city press conference. They got a pro-sanctuary city press conference. They're holding a press conference because they want to let everybody know that they're pro-sanctuary city, that if you're illegal, as John Kennedy said, illegal immigration is illegal, and the Democrats like the illegal part. Now, I'm all for a healthy immigration system, and we've always taken in about 1 million people every year that become U.S. citizens every year, and that's great. That makes us really cool. Good restaurants and, and all kinds of good everything from that. But when you flood the zone with 20 million illegal alien gang members and child sex traffickers, then you're in Democrat land, and that becomes very different. But Mariachi band opens Democrat mayor's pro-sanctuary city press conference by the Daily Caller and Jason Hopkins at the Daily Caller. Democrat Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, not sure if she's related to the Wuhan Red Death out of Wuhan, China, or not, but it sounds very similar. The Wu, because, you don't want a case of the Wu. Democrat Boston Mayor Michelle Wu featured a live mariachi band before her press conference about the Trump administration's targeting of the city over its sanctuary policies, meaning that all of the elected Democrats are actively engaged in an ongoing criminal conspiracy to violate the law, multiple laws of the United States of America having to do with sovereignty and our border and immigration and protecting gang members and child sex abusers. Wu held an outdoor press conference, right, where she vowed to resist. I think the Reverend Al Sharpton, he's one who likes to resist also. He loves resisting everything there is to resist. Well, not absolutely everything, but most things. There are a lot of things he likes to resist.
But resist we much. We must and we will much about that be committed.
Exactly. I always defer to him because I couldn't say it better myself. But Wu held an outdoor press conference on Tuesday, that's yesterday, where she vowed to resist the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice demands to comply with federal immigration law. You could lose the word immigration there, and it's federal law is what we're talking about here. But they've decided that the law doesn't apply to them because they're suspended in midair, and they've got strange stuff going on in their pants, let's be honest. Now, the Democrat mayor's public speech was in response to a deadline set by the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, in which Pam Bondi, demanded that Wu, who might be a virus, voiced her commitment to working with immigration authorities and outline a plan to eliminate the city's sanctuary laws and policies. But you see, her plan is to tell the federal government to go, I'll just keep it clean. Take a leap. Take a leap, not, shove it or anything like that. But before launching her press conference, Wu allowed a band. They got a band there led by Veronica Robles. Veronica Robles, kind of like Paso Robles in California. Veronica Robles, a musician and co-founder of the Veronica Robles Cultural Center. Don't miss it whenever you're wherever that is. To play mariachi music for attendees. And this is pretty good, and this is where you're going to have to start rolling your R's again. So get your tongue warmed up. Here's the mariachi band.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
My name is Veronica Robles. Everybody rolling your R's.
There, see, that's what I always do. Whenever I hit an R word, I always do that because of my Latino background. My father was Jules Ortega, and I was Christopher Ortega until I was 5 years old. So I have to roll and do that whole and she's dressed. Now you got to picture this because she's dressed like a cartoon character. She's got a bright blue mariachi outfit. What would you call that? Mariachi outfit? She's got a sombrero that is twice as wide as her shoulders. She's kind of short. She could skip a meal. And she's got this giant bright blue sombrero on with all kinds of ornate stuff sewn into it. And then she has, what's that kind of jacket called? That short jacket that's cut like that, you know, and it's got stuff on the sleeve like you're a toreador. I'll call it a toreador jacket. And she's got a mariachi band behind her. And she early in the morning at sunrise, everybody happy, out for a long journey to work. Yeah, from Ecuador to Los Angeles, out for a long journey to work. Loving and caring, sure, bringing the gang members. But here is Veronica Robles, and she's the opening act for the Democrat mayor of the once great city of Boston, Mass.
Everybody, hoo-hoo-ya, hoo-hoo-ya.
You can sing along at home.
El flautín.
What a talent. Hold that note. She's got the circular breathing technique down. Frank said, hey, look, they're cheering. Oh, nice note. That is good. She's better than I thought. I think she cheated and inhaled in the middle there, don't you think? Do it again. This is a political event in Boston, Mass. Home of the Boston Tea Party long ago. The Democrat Party is very, very, very unwell and not very American. I thought there were a lot of Irish there in Boston, Mass. But the Democrat Party, fire on Fort Sumter, I think. But she's not done yet.
And before the press conference, I would like to everybody sing, ay, 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 ay. And I know this is our favorite from our senator. So, Marky, because he always makes me sing it. So now I am ready for you. And I know Mayor will also love this song. Everybody, ay, 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 ay.
I think we all know this song, don't we? They don't know this. They don't speak Spanish. But they're trying to fake it because they're idiots. I mean, liberals. They're very dim-witted people, and she's leading them. And, I know everybody know this song. No, not really. We know the song, kind of, but she's not done yet. This is a very, very musical bunch. Nobody knows the lyrics. They're just making noise. They're trying to follow along. They're faking it. Faking a lot. Very good. It's, Cielto Lindo, and that's great. Now, I think we all recognize that song, but where do we recognize that song from? Long ago, it was used in a television commercial, if I'm not mistaken.
Ay, 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 ay. I am the Frito Bandido.
The Frito Bandito.
I like Fritos corn chips. I love them.
He likes Fritos corn chips.
Fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you.
He likes them. He do. He'll steal them from you. And he's a bandito. He's got a gun, and he's stealing your Frito Bandito because he's the bandito, for the love of. Come on. It's the Frito Bandito, and that's the Democrat Party opening their press conference with Mayor Wu. Maybe a virus, maybe not. In Boston, Massachusetts, of all places, not a border city, not a border state, but every state is a border state now because the Democrat Party, they're like the Visigoths. It was like the battle at the gates of Vienna that the Democrats have inflicted on us here in the United States. The Frito Bandito. Honestly. All right, we've got more. We haven't even heard from the mayor yet, but she's coming up. And we remain at 888-630-9625. Let's go back to the telephones, Michael. We have a great deal more Democrat Party antics and hijinks, both antics and hijinks, coming up. Let's go to Amy, calling from Warrenton, Virginia. Oh, Amy, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris.
Hi, Amy.
I just wanted to call and let you know that I want to thank you for helping raise up the next generation. I'm sitting here with my 12-year-old son, and we were listening to your show, and he even was laughing. You're so hilarious, and we just really appreciate all that you do. We used to listen to Rush as a family on a regular basis, and you've just done a great job filling in that gap with all the great information you give us, as well as adding a ton of humor. So we just want to thank you for that.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you very much. Very generous of you to call in and say that. And your 12-year-old son, you said.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
He's listening with me, and he was just laughing at you playing the songs that you were just playing. That was hilarious. It was great. He was sitting over there laughing.
No, that's good. He's a wise young man, obviously, and you're raising a great future human being, a great future adult. He's a human being now, of course, but a great future adult. That's good to hear. I'm encouraged by that. And happy to hear that.
Yeah, he does know the difference between a male and a female, even though he's not a biologist, nor is he a Supreme Court justice. But we are raising our kids to understand the difference. So we appreciate your help in that.
Wow, that is great. Yeah, it's important that we do that. Biology matters, I think, is an important thing. And as you know, because the Democrats they appoint people to the Supreme Court. Since you brought it up, Amy, I see Michael Piercy furiously moving his hands across the console from me.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No, I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
She's not a biologist, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and she ascended to the United States Supreme Court. And nobody's asked her the follow-up question, but I got to say, Amy, if she didn't know what a woman was then, she probably doesn't know what a woman is now, does she?
I don't think she does. And clearly she's not smarter than a sixth grader. So
definitely not smarter than a sixth grader. That is great. Amy, thank you for the very nice call. Great call and very encouraging. Happy to hear about your 12-year-old son. Yeah, Ketanji Brown Jackson, still, she is a woman. Now, your son knows that, but she herself does not know that. That's every day is an IQ test, and not everyone competes in the realm of intelligence quotient. Certainly not Joe Biden's pick for the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Constantly confused.